To burn a book or not to burn a book? That is the question.
Behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
Good morning, good evening, good night, whatever it is, wherever you are. Welcome to my channel. So, book burning. Seems to be a bit of a hot topic last few months again. Reason it's back in the news again, or, well, maybe it's not back in the news. I haven't really seen anybody reporting on it. But Georgia Southern University students had gotten mad at a Latina author who had written a book because she went to go speak at the university about white privilege, and she spent an hour lambasting white students. The white students got tired of it and said, okay, what gives you the right to say that all white people are a certain way, all white people are bad, and you've basically been attacking us for an hour? They took her book and they burned it and made a video of it and put it on Twitter. Okay. Book burning. Is that a good idea? Is that a bad idea? You're taking someone's ideas and you're expressing your hatred of the ideas, or your disdain for the ideas, or your opinion, I suppose, of the ideas. That's one way to look at it. Yes. Seems to be that there was another political organization in the past. I want to say somewhere around, 1938 to like 1945 was when they were prominent. They happened to do the same thing. They burnt some books. I wonder if it's a good idea. Look, freedom of speech, it's very important. Not only is it important for you to practice your freedom of speech, which is what I am doing here. I am practicing my freedom of speech, and I'm encouraging you to practice your freedom of speech. Comment. If you have a different point of view, let me know. What is it? What are your beliefs? Do you think I'm full of it? Comment. Let me know. You hate my video. Give it a thumbs down. Let me know. That is your right. People died for your right. Don't let it go. But also to allow other people to have their freedom of speech, which is, again, me saying, hey, you guys have your freedom of speech. Let me know what your opinion is, what your point of view is. But the way I look at it is, the reason freedom of speech is so powerful and why letting other people have the freedom of speech is so powerful is this. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. Bad ideas propagate like cockroaches in the dark, out, doing whatever. Start with 1, it's in the dark. Then you've got 2, then you got 4, then you got 8, then you got 16, then you got 32, then you got 64, then you've got 112, then you got 224, and it never ends until it is such a big problem that you see it. And by the time it's that big a problem, well, now you got to call an exterminator because it's a big problem now. Or go spend money to get traps and things like that. If we allow bad ideas to be out in the open, so that way the ideas can be exposed, and then people of good conscience, people with clear heads, people that are willing to speak up against these bad ideas, and other people hear people speaking up about these bad ideas, and they listen to the bad ideas, and they themselves agree with the good ideas that speak up against the bad ideas, that bad idea essentially dies. How do cults form? They don't stand out there on the street taking applications. They don't put an ad in the paper. Now accepting positions for cult member number 647. That's not what they do. It's in someone's house. It's out in the woods. It's out in the dark. It's in a barn. It's in a field. Hidden away. Because a bad idea, like everything else, will have someone else that will believe in the bad idea. There are people who can be manipulated into believing bad ideas. There are people who are easily convinced into a bad idea. And once somebody's been convinced into a bad idea, then it's harder to convince them out of it. However, if you take a cult and you open it up and you say, hey, what are your ideas? Let's do a news broadcast on it. Let's let the whole world hear your ideas. And then all of a sudden you've got thousands of people saying, well, that's a bad idea, and here's why it's a bad idea. In a good, concise, clear manner, backed with logic and fact, not personal attacks. That never works. The minute you use a personal attack, you've lost. Your side's done. You do your side more disservice than you do service. Stay away from personal attacks. Stick with facts, reason, and logic. I don't care how bad you get attacked personally. Stick to the facts. Be calm, be rational, be reasonable, and listen. But if we have 1,000 people saying that this is a bad idea, then someone who would have fallen for this cult idea will hear that a lot of people think it's a bad idea, and hopefully, and usually, stop them from believing in such bad ideas, and you have essentially saved a life, or 2, or 3, or more. Think of it this way. You're driving down the road, and your car has a small issue. Now, either you know about the issue and you ignore it, or it's a small enough issue that you don't even notice it. Okay? So you keep driving, you keep driving, you keep driving. You don't know the problem's there, or you're ignoring it. Either way, same result. That little problem becomes a big problem. And it'll become a bigger problem until finally you have no choice. You have got to either take it to the shop or fix it yourself. And at that point, you're spending more money, more time, more resources, and it's done more damage to your car than if you'd have stopped it in the beginning. Now, how do you stop in the beginning? Well, you know about it, and you do something about it. How do you stop bad ideas in the beginning? Well, you know something. You do something about it. How do you know something? How do you do something about it? You let other people practice their free speech. You don't deplatform them. You don't say, oh, you're white, therefore your ideas suck, which I get a lot. I came up from homelessness, eating out of dumpsters to survive. I have been through some crazy crap in my life. I've hitchhiked, I've rode the rails, rode the dirty face, being a train hobo, essentially, in and out of homeless shelters. Mostly sleeping on the street, though, because a lot of homeless shelters run on a lottery system. They're so overcrowded, overpacked, and underfunded. I slept under bushes in the middle of winter in the rain. Almost died of thirst twice. Horrible feeling, by the way. I don't recommend it. I have seen the shit. And yet, because I am white, it is by virtue of my whiteness that I have been able to claw and fight my way out of my situation. Really? Was it the privileged dumpsters that I had to eat out of? No. I fought and I clawed my way out of it, and I earned my way out of it. I earned where I can buy luxury watches and have a collection, where I have a roof over my head, where I have things that I can call my own that are nice things. I have a nice car. Why? Because I earned it. I fought for it. I didn't show up at the dealership and they said, oh, you're white. Here you go. Here's your car. Well, you're white. Here you go. Here's that. I went to college. I put myself through college. And even though I was homeless, my college wasn't free. But if I'd have been a female or a person of color, my college would have been free. But here I was, a homeless person, and I had to take student loans out. So imagine the shock. Student loans, which gain interest from the day that you get the student loans, and they gain interest until the day you graduate. So the day I graduated college, you could imagine the debt that I had. I had to take all 3 loans, Stafford loans, subbed and unsubbed. So I had a lot of debt, but I was homeless. I didn't have a choice. I had to. But I went out and I used my degree and I got a good job, a career. I have respect in my field. I am well known. I have a great reputation for being a wonderful mechanical engineer. I know what I'm doing. I study it. I'm smart. But because I'm white, that doesn't count. Well, you can't stifle someone's speech that way and shut it down with these buzzwords and things like that. You can't. Hear other people's opinions and hear dissenting opinions. And watch news sources from news sources that disagree with each other. Watch news sources from places that are like, one that believes one direction, one that believes another direction. Because then you'll educate yourself. Because my experience is this. If you hear one side of the story, And then you hear the other side of the story. The actual truth is usually somewhere in between, because both stories embellish to their point of view, because they want to swing you to their point of view. And it's a human condition. All humans do it. Sometimes we try not to, but we still end up doing it. It's just built into us. It's what humans do. We want other people to believe the same as we do. Tribal mentality, if you will. I mean, give us a break. We've had hundreds of thousands of years of living in tribes in which tribal mentality is what saved us. You cling on to your neighbors. It's just a recent phenomenon with these great big cities and towns last couple hundred years versus hundreds of thousands of years. It'll take us a long time to get rid of that tribalistic attitude. I see all the time people shutting down free speech, and like, why? If it's a bad idea, listen to it and tear it apart. In an academic, philosophical way, not with personal attacks or anything like that. You guys are awesome. Listen to others' dissenting opinions. Get others' ideas. There's nothing wrong with it. The worst that can happen is you hear something that makes you say, maybe my ideas were wrong. And that is going to be my last point. Make sure that you go into life with the idea that you will change your opinions if faced with better facts. If faced with reason that makes you think, wait a second, maybe I'm wrong. That's the only way that you can make sure that you are properly educated and that your views are correct. If your views never get challenged, then how do you know you're correct? If you think that the sky is pink and purple polka dotted your entire life and nobody tells you any different, then you're going to believe that the sky is pink and polka dotted. And then when you see the sky for real for the first time, you're going to be in some severe shock. And I know that's an absurd conclusion. It's a philosophical method. You take an opinion and you take it to the absurd conclusion and to point out the absurdity of the argument. I love philosophy. Anyways, that's all for the video now. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. Give me a thumbs down if you hate it. And if you give me a thumbs down, let me know why. What did you not like about it? Don't just give a thumbs down and say, I hate this video. That doesn't count. Yeah, you can do it and thumbs down and leave and whatnot. That's fine, but it doesn't count. You haven't voiced your opinion. You just said, I don't like that video. Why? I didn't like that movie. Why? What didn't you like about it? Convince me to not go see the movie. Convince me that my views are wrong. If you give it a thumbs down, people give it a thumbs down and don't ever explain why. Why? If you give it a thumbs up and you like the video, what do you like about the video? What do you like about the point of view? What do you dislike about the video? It'll also give me an opportunity to see what you guys like, what you don't like, and hopefully improve the video quality, the channel quality, and things like that. But that's my points of view. What are yours? I love you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are worthwhile. You guys are worthwhile me taking the time and the effort to listen to this drab news and report it and be like, hey, you guys are worthwhile getting the full 2, 3, or 4 sides of every story. Aren't you? I believe you guys are. I believe you guys are beautiful, awesome, smart people who are able to take dissenting opinions and figure out what is right and what is wrong, separate it, and you guys know the difference. All right, it's been awesome, you guys. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm pretty tired. I just got back from physical therapy, so you guys are great. I love you. Bye.